get started here. I really appreciate you. Welcome to the Cultural Awareness Ministries event. Okay? We ask people not to record anything. You can take pictures and stuff later. Sometimes that distract the brother definitely when he's in that flow. All right? Okay? My name is Mr. Pete Copeland. I'm from Virginia. I will be your griot today, all right? I'd like to thank everyone who came out and come to this event right here at the Doc Bookshop right here in Fort Worth, Texas. I'd like to thank the beautiful Donna for giving us a chance to do it right here in Fort Worth. This is our first time ever being in Fort Worth, and we definitely thank y'all for accepting us here. Now, our topic today we're going to be discussing is the 7 Black Awakenings. We're going to deal with slavery today. We got mental slavery. We got spiritual slavery, okay? But we're going to talk about the past and present of slavery, okay? That's how we're going to roll it today. Now, cultural awareness, let me give a few my disclaimers right quick, family. First of all, we're not a religious group. We're not into a bunch of racism and stuff like that, okay? Not an organization or anything. We're in the word, nor are we looking to change your religious belief, whatever they may be, okay? We just come here to collectively give consciousness to our community, some awareness, or some information from a grassroots perspective. So that means, you know what I'm saying, hey, from I may talk a little different from the hood, so to speak, so I'm going to be kind of talking my style a little different than most. This is not going to be a debate or battle of egos event. I know some of the events you go to, cats, you know, putting their chest out, saying I know more and this, that, and the third. It's cool. Maybe we can get out after the event, you know what I'm saying? We can chat about it. You can add on if you see something up in here that's wrong. Hey, I may stutter on some words, so I may need for y'all to help me pronounce some words. I mean, it just is what it is, okay? We got to keep it real. And please raise your hand if you have any questions, and I'll see if I can answer it. You know, if I can't, I'm at it. But, hey, that's a good question right there. Get back with you. You feel me? Then we ask everybody at the end of the day to do your own research, family. I could be a maniac up here telling y'all anything from Virginia, you feel me? Trying to get into your pockets and all that. But I ain't trying to do that. We ain't doing that today. We're trying to give some awareness, okay? And our topics we're going to be giving awareness on is going to be as following today. Looking at the brief, look at the America's past and the Pledge of Allegiance since the Roman colony. Now, Americans, we have to understand, because the word means those who came from the British Isles. Okay, they call us African Americans. You got Latino Americans. We got what is this? We got Chinese Americans. Those are hyphen names. Okay, so whenever they say Americans and they on TV, we don't do this for the American people. Or they might say, well, we're gonna do this for the African American people. Or they're gonna say, this is for all American people. Okay, you might hear these different subject matters, you know, through debates and stuff like that. All right, the Pledge of Allegiance, that goes back all the way back to the Roman times. We're going to talk about that briefly. Actually, it goes back farther than that, but we're going to deal with the Americans today, okay? Next, we're going to talk about a brief look at the 13th, 14th Amendment, and we're going to look at the birth of the Republic of Texas, okay? And, you know, I'm not fully from Texas, so some of y'all may be from Texas and might know this subject a little bit better than me, but I'm going to, you know, feed my little input in there to add on to about what making America so great. Y'all with me on that? All right, let's move forward, fam. We got Reaganomics and its effects on the black communities. And a lot of people kind of forgot about old Reagan. Well, we're going to try to awaken your mind today and kind of, you know, get the spider webs away and kind of re-enlighten you about Reagan for a second, okay? We got solution theory. You know, after I finish talking about all these problems, we got to come up with some type of theory of, you know, something better. You know, what can you do then? You know, most cats just breathing off at the mic. But at the end of the day, what's the solution? We hear all these problems. Do you have any type of solution for us? So I just say I'm just going to give a basic theory of how do we break free within the land of the free, because I definitely don't have the answers. But collectively, maybe we can come up with the answers. Y'all with that? All right, let's move forward. Okay, we got the great invasions. As y'all know, I'm from Virginia, okay? That was the Powhatan Nation. You know, it was other tribes within the tribes. When we came together, we had a nation, okay? And we had the Iroquois Confederacy. All this was going on. Then we're going to deal with Texas today, because I've been hearing a lot about y'all Texas people down here, fam. They talking about building a wall down here, fam. along what used to be called the Aztec Empire. Okay, the Mayans and stuff, right? They like, yo. But what don't happen is they say, hey, we need more rum. They just trying to get back home, right? But they say, nah. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Now, here on this land in 1142 AD, the Iroquois Confederacy of Nations came over called the Great Law of Peace. Okay? And this was the original constitution of this land. Now, we have Mansa Musa. Now, they're supposed to be the richest man in human history. You know how to catch man now, these youngins talking about bling, bling? This dude had some serious bling. Okay, he had so much bling, he came into making a trip across the Trans-Saharan slave route. I think I got this on again. Right? To where he came across there with 500 slaves and 100 camels. Everybody was loaded with gold, man. By the time he got to make it, gave it all out like he was Santa Claus or something. Okay? To all the people in the land. And it ended up collapsing the economy. It took him up to 12 years to regroup. Okay? After he dropped all that money on the cats. And this voyage was, of course, heard throughout the ancient lands of Europe and stuff like that. Okay? Now, we must understand that normally when we say, well, the Europeans this and the Europeans that, right? But around the 1300s and stuff, we must understand up in here, right? England, where we're going to be talking about the American people, Scotland, okay? These are the people that are supposed to be the 13 colonies. That's what we're going to be dealing with today, okay? And see, up in here, they was under ice up until 900 AD, okay? And then, you know, it thawed out for a while, okay? But then the raft came again around 1300 all the way up to about 1800 AD. Okay, it was called the medieval mini ice age. Okay, I want y'all to look that up. And so a lot of this, as you see, the Ottoman Empire, of course, was the Turks and was basically what? Some brothers. Some brown-skinned brothers. And as you can see, all that was mainly ran by who? Us. The Islamic Empire. People of color. Moors. Got the Morocco, the Spain. When we had Spain, this is around 1300s. So a lot of the European area right there, it was some people of color, so we will say. All right? Let's leave it like that. And of course, we did have the Holy Roman Empire and all them up in here, hanging on by a thread around that time. Let's move forward. We're going to go back here. They had a system that was called, in the Roman system, was called feudal society. Okay, now, when we look into the dictionary nowadays, well, we don't use dictionaries no more, right? Right. We just go straight to the computer, and notice the computer is going to take you straight to the word. Now, if you really want to kind of get the feel, this is my view. This is where I was taught to look up a word. You got to start from the top of that word until you get to that word feudal. Like, is it feud, feudine, whatever is before feudal. Kind of look at them definitions. So, you know, I'm advising people to go teach our babies that particular procedure because we losing a lot of information. All right, y'all follow me? Okay, let's move forward. So they had a feudal or feud society. That's how they roll. Now, they had 3 orders within their society. Their first order that they rolled, what was called, was what? Those who make war. Now, I know y'all say they're going to make America great again. And I know you don't turn it on your TV and what they ready to do. Love to what? Make war. Okay? And we like, why won't they just have peace? But we come, once again, got to understand the DNA structure here in a sense. This is part of their society. Okay? It was known as Burns and Knights. I guess today they call Green Berets, Commanders and Chiefs. They got new names now. Okay? So let's move forward. They value some things. There's 3 things. There's 3 things that they value. The warriors and knights did. Okay? Let's see if they had a little heart about some things. You know what I mean? It wasn't just about killing all the time. They had a little love for something. Let's see the first thing they loved as a burning knight. Number 1, their horse. Okay? Mr. Ed. All them, Mr. Ed, man. You know how they always on them cowboys move. They love some horses, right? That was like, you know. Queen gave me, we was vibing the other day, she was talking about, maybe that, one of them trucks ran, or they love that horsepower in that truck. I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea, Queen, right? I'm like, okay. But today, you know, they got their Ninas, their guns, they really value too as well. nowadays, right? Secondly, the Greeks and Romans, their son. You know they had little things for little boys. All right? You go into their history. All right? So, secondly, their son. I ain't saying nothing about their daughter. I said their son. Matter of fact, the last thing on the list that they valued was their wife. Okay? All right? That's why they have these women movements today. And then our beautiful black sisters think we need them same equal rights when we got our children, we got our wife first thing on our list. Okay? And this is the type of society that we actually in. Okay? But let's move forward. Hannibal, man, how many of y'all heard? Y'all heard of them? Okay, a lot of people haven't. Man, Hannibal, he was one of the greatest Nubian warriors. Actually, they still use some of his military tactics to this day, as far as surrounding the enemy a certain way and coming in on them. If you look at any maps of their forts and stuff like that, I'm going to show y'all some in a minute of how the forts are built. It's similar like Hannibal did back in 216 BC. All right, he went across the Alps with elephants. Warrior, African elephants ain't for the Alps. Cold, ice, you know what I mean? But he made it. Now, this war, it wiped out most of the male population. Okay? Now, when you got to follow these children back home, mothers with chastity belts, they still need to be unlocked, everything. It was crazy for them, right? The society was like, the mothers was like, yo, they pledged to get revenge on us. Okay? That's where they started at. Let's move forward. So when we pledge allegiance, we really pledge allegiance against, to take out our black butts. All right? Y'all with that? Now, the second thing of their orders, all right, of the feudal society was to pray, those who pray. Okay, priests, monks, authorities of the church. And then people wondering, like, you know, why is a church on every block? Okay? This is part of their order. Then we got those who labor. Those are called the colony, the agricultural slaves. Okay? So let's look at this. So when the Romans, after the Romans, you had the UK, like I said, they had 3 elements to theirs as well. Okay, but theirs was called serfdom. Okay, it was a little different. They had 3 elements, but it was about the same setup. Let's look at it. Lords was the abbots, the bishops, the kings, the queens. Okay, anybody who owned the land. You know how they say land is valuable. I look around when I'm over here going to Texas, staying in Irving. I look a little history and I'm like, man, this thing, this was owned by us at one time. And we don't came in and let these folks just come in and rack up, take the land over, and utilize it. As you can see, they don't build towns and cities and all types of stuff around here. It's wild. So, now, lords, now y'all don't see this in your Bibles, no disrespect, and you don't see it in no movies. Yes, my lord. My lord. Okay? It's the same thing. That's what they're talking about when you hear that. Okay? Now, the vows would also do what's called a fealty or pledge. Now, what are you pledging about? To do what? Help provide military protection for the Lord. It's the same thing we're doing what? Today. Huh? It ain't nothing too much change. It is that back in the pledging allegiance, right? To your army. Okay? Because if something set off, you saying you would defend your country. Huh? Okay, let's look at it. All right? All right, let's move forward. They said the European water supply was so toxic from contamination, from the throwing waste and pooping in the street and everything. Okay? And I think they did it until about the 1900s. Okay? You can look up anything about the filth of Europe, the diseases of Europe, the plagues of Europe, and you will see what I'm saying. Okay? How long that stuff lasted in their particular regions. Let's move forward. Now, they started drinking apple cider. That's a popular drink, huh? Beer, wine, liquor, and other non-water products. They even got us believing today, oh, man, water tastes nasty. Well, I suggest if you have any taste in water, you better throw it away. You don't supposed to have no taste, not no clean water. It should be cold and refreshing. All right, or cool and refreshing or something, right? So they want something mainly what? Soda and beer nowadays. Or Kool-Aid. or a Gatorade with no water. Okay? Let's move forward. But the thing about this, though, fam, is loaded with sugar. Sugar is discovered to be one molecule away from crack cocaine. So we got cats around cracked out, really. And we wondering why babies jumping around like the crazy. And then we like, oh, we got to put them on these different drugs. Okay, A through Z drugs. You know how these different names they got for different mental drugs. Now, another thing you must understand about sugar, it was very expensive to purchase. It was called white gold, fam. Okay? And all the way up to the 12th and 15th century, and it was so expensive until the transatlantic slave trade came along. Remember I just told you we had the trans-Saharan slave trade. Okay, now we deal with the transatlantic slave trade. They made what's called supply and demand. We have more so they can reduce the price thing. You know what I'm talking about? Okay. So now they started to produce more of it. So now they can lower the price. It ain't so expensive then to get. Okay? Just think about that. It was called white gold. Move forward. Okay? Now, how many of y'all know about these sexual rituals? All you men up in here, right? Think about this. Go to the club. If you ever went to the club when you was younger, if you might do it now. Right? Fall up in that junk, you see a nice little girl, you're like, can I buy you a few drinks? Right? Right? Try to get her head all bad. Huh? To do what? Take her back home and do some sexual rituals, so to speak. You feel me? Got her under what they call the influence. Huh? And then wake up. Huh? And then wake up the next morning like, damn, what I'm doing with this person? Right? And then a couple of weeks later, they call you on the phone. I think I'm pregnant. What? There's been plenty of cases like that. All right? You feel me? Due to these sexual occasions. Let's move. So, then we got a new, president and vice president. I just told y'all at the beginning that they have selected their new president of their company. Okay, it's called the Act of 1871. It shows you under the UN that we are a company. Right? We're not a nation. We are not a nation. We're a company, a corporation. Always been. We had got a patent back in 1607. Okay? Let's move forward and talk about this a little bit more. Now, when they first came over here, you know they talking about building walls all the time, right? This is how they live. We went to the museum a couple months ago, and we said, well, let's see where they came in at. You know what I'm saying? See them on the boat. 1609, this is how they live, and this is their fort. Look at that. Got the little army, you know what I'm saying? You come across them Jones, they gonna blast you. Huh? Got the walls up, huh? Borders up. Huh? That's their society that they come from. Huh? Remember the castle? The kingdoms, all the kingdoms had walls around it. You feel me? Fear. Don't cross these borders. All right? We got to protect the American people, right? Protect us. We got to ask ourselves, family, how these cats come over here. Had people already there. It was like, they get off the boat, right? They bring one of your homies or whatever. They're like, yo, son, you get 50 acres, like I said, you get 100 acres. Here goes some guns, some tools, right? So they get over there, right? And you go over there, you get all geared up, you run over there, like, but wait a minute, son. Who lives over there? Don't worry about it. Just a few savages. That's why you must protect, okay, your land. What is there to be saying there? Protect our freedom. We got to protect our freedom. We got to protect, what else they say? Our rights and all this stuff, right? They got all this stuff they talking about they got to protect. Huh? But if you stole it, and like I said a minute ago, you just took it over, I guess you is kind of scared all the time. Especially if you know the dude there right next door to you, and you got all this stuff that he can see, right? You looking over there every day like, yo, son, yo. As soon as you put that gun down, I'll get to you, right? Every day. So that's why they in fear, right? Talking about terrorists now. Because they didn't want us to take back over like we did in England. Remember I told you we was already running things, and then Queen Isabella came and expelled us. Killed us all by the thousands. Remember, we talked about that a few minutes ago. So we can't have them coming back up again, ruling again. We don't pledge not to ever have that happen. Okay? And, all right, let's move forward. Now, they also during this time, just before they said, yo, we're going to have this thing jumping, we're going to give y'all a chance to leave. All right? So, just like we do today. Because somebody been around for about, 70, 80 years now. You came in 1620. So we done did about 60 or 70 years here. We're like, hey, I ain't from no Africa. Huh? I'm an American then. You know how we still do that today, right? So they was like, yo, son, we're going to give you a chance, man. You got our own land and everything for you. We're going to put you on some ships for free. You can leave right now before we get the thing jumping, right? But now what we do, we end up selling our own selves to the masters. Okay, for we won't have to go to Africa. I ain't going back to Africa. Oh, they ain't from there. That was my granddaddy. My grandma did that. You know, Negro. All right, let's move forward. Now, here we go, by 1660. Things are starting to get heated now. We had this pioneer for them called Robbie Boyle. Y'all ever heard of Robbie Boyle? Okay, Robbie Boyle. Okay, then he had a dude named Joanne Blumenbach. And Blumenbach, by 1779, he was studying skulls and stuff to determine races and stuff. Okay, let's see what these cats was talking about, man. And Robert Boyle he was a scientist. He was also dealing with monotheism, right? Now, his belief, family, he studied races, and he believed that all human beings, no matter their physical differences, they all came from Adam and Eve. How many of y'all done heard that one? Huh? You know, Eve came from the rib of Adam and Eve. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, so let's move forward. Now, he studied reported stories of parents giving birth to different albinos. So he concluded that Adam and Eve are the original white, and Caucasians could give birth to different colored races. So, family, that means if we look at our beautiful ebony skin, they saying we're an albino. Okay, if you believe this. And they got us believing this because we believe in who? Adam and Eve as being our true forefathers. Y'all with me? Okay, if you believe your father, your original father and mother was white, you feel me? You don't hate yourself because you've been cursed. You diseased, right? If you really think about what they're saying here. Y'all follow me? This had nothing to do with the Billy Lynch letters, but like I said, they had an actual religion instructions that they had for the savage Indians and this heathen Negroes. Okay? Now, Charles I, or Charles Stewart, and he supposed to be kin to who? King James. And they called him who? Black Boy. Yeah, y'all look him up. He was black. Okay? So that's why they saying, because he was part of the Stewart family. That's why they saying King James was black. Okay? Let's move forward. Now, he came out with the propagation of the gospel amongst heathen nations of New England. Of course, that didn't separate them. Like, who you calling the heathen, son? All right? So, my man Boy, you remember the dude, Adam and Eve dude? All right, he came a little bit more subtle. He said, look, let's do it like this. We're going to call it the Society for the Propagation of the Gospel in Foreign Parts. That sounds a little bit more better, huh? Instead of calling people heathens and stuff, but it's had the same concept. Okay? Let's move forward. Now, he left in his annual salary for elders to support 8 sermons a year. I think they call them great revivals and all that nowadays, right? They show for proving that the Christian religion is against notorious infidels. That their religion is the greatest, right? I know y'all heard it, even down to the Christian Crusades, they try to prove that when they cut our head off and all that stuff. You better take and follow our religion, okay? Now, let's move forward. We're dealing with why the black lives don't matter, fam. Now, still they needed more control. Like I said, they tried with the propagation, with the religion thing. Still ain't acting right, right? Had us in chains and whipping us. Still ain't acting right, right? So, we had the patty rollers being formed. How many of y'all heard of the patty rollers? No? Okay, let's move forward. All right, patty rollers. Let's look at this, family. First organized groups of white men who monitored and enforced discipline, okay, upon black slaves, okay? The slave patrol's function was to police slaves, especially runaways and defiant slaves. Huh? A lot of us ain't it, fam. So you know they watching this and they're ready. Petty rollers on us, right? They also formed river patrol to prevent escape by boat. Now I thought about this. I was like, you know what? You know, I go to the beach and everywhere. I see a lot of beach houses. I barely see brothers with boats. You might have one or two, right? Huh? Slave patrol, we couldn't even ride a rowboat down the stream. They're going to be on us. You feel me? Helicopters and everything. What you doing there, Negro? You feel me? And we talking we brought in drugs and all this stuff. How we going to bring that stuff in when we can't even drive a rowboat down the river? Are y'all follow me? Yeah. Let's move forward. Even back in the 1700s, look at this. Persons were subject to questioning searches, what they call search and seize today. I think it's called something like that. And other forms of harassment, all the time getting whipping or beaten for non-compliant and even compliant slaves. So even though it's a snitch, yo, I know who did it. He did it. He like, shut up, Negro. Woo, woo. Still got beat. Right? Or nowadays, what they do? Boom, 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 boom. Oh, what did you say? You already laying on the ground leaking, right? Goes back that far, 1700s. You move forward. All right. Imagine, hey, officer, let me see your badge. Boom. That'd be his badge. He'll show you. Runaway slave patrol. Okay? Like let's move forward. By 1673, Church of England was on a mission. Okay? And then what's called the Christian Directory. Okay? Giving instructions to original stocks. This is what it was given to all the slave masters and stuff at this time. Okay? Now, they say, you know what? They seen us as heathens and stuff, but their goal was to convert us older heads and us men. Okay? That thing was, the new Christian instruction was to target the youth and the mothers. We have moms like, oh, why I can't get my husband to come to church with me? Huh? Don't we hear that, man? We don't have no men in church nowadays. Because that wasn't part of the plan. Okay, they had instructions to go for the kids and youth. Excuse me, because they know the mothers, at the end of the day, especially the black mothers, ran the household in many ways. Okay, they knew they were going to bring our little young butts to the church as a kid, and we had sat there until we got old enough to where we became defiant. Okay, and rebellious against it. All right, and we're going to talk about that in a second. Let's move forward. They don't try everything they possibly could, fam. They don't beat us. They don't got the patty rollers on us. Man, y'all heard of this dude, Benjamin Rush? You heard of Benjamin Rush? Well, Benjamin Rush, they said, I know what's wrong with them. I got it. They're crazy. They are insane. Okay? In 1844, he said the first mental disease was nigger too. Okay? And we had to bring this up because you got to understand how many of us, soon as something go wrong, what they do? We need to give them a mental evaluation. Look at my man Keenan West. He got rebellious, didn't he? Got defiant against the system. Huh? They snatched him up as soon as he got off stage, didn't it? Take him to the emergency room. Now he's crazy. He got nigger too. Better yet. Benjamin Rush said, his father, and he's the father of psychiatry. Okay, if you study it on the back of the book, his face is going to be on there. Okay? So let's look at this, family. The only cure, he said, is a form of leprosy. He said the only cure for the disorder was to become white. It's unclear as how many cases of nigritude was successful and treated. Well, Mr. Rush, if you were still living today, it looked like your experiment is very successful. Huh? Because I know a lot of people that think they're white. Black as soot. Huh? Nigritude and full of fat. Huh? We call them bourgeois and stuff. Back then, but hold on, this dude, y'all heard of this dude, Samuel Cartwright? You should, y'all got a street named after him here, or a highway or something here in Texas, I think in Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. Samuel Cartwright Street. Well, if you didn't know who this dude was, he came up with some mental diseases about, we were looking at 1950, about 10 years later. Drapetomania, the runaway slave syndrome. So what is he saying about us, family? Well, he found not one, but two mental diseases in us. Well, let's look at the first one, drapetomania. He said the disease caused blacks to have this uncontrollable urge to run away and to be free.
Oh.
So we got a lot of brothers out here saying, black power and this and that. We want to be free, right? Them cats looking at us, them brothers don't went crazy. They got drapetomania. Okay? I'm just saying, we got to really look at this because that's how he's looking at us. Well, we don't really know that. Okay? Of course, they got new experiments and names for these same things today. Are y'all with me? You follow me? They just don't change the names, but we got to look at the root. Follow it from the root and see what the plant is today. Let's move forward. Man, he said, let's treat this illness. He said the best way is to beat the devil out of him. How many of y'all don't heard that one? That's something in the black neighborhood. Boy, I beat the black off you if you don't do this and do that. Huh? We don't heard that if you black dude. And that's what he did. He said we got to beat the black off of him. Okay? That's when he started telling the masters to beat the black off of us, so to speak. Beat the devil out of him. He'll cure that stuff that's wrong with him. Huh?
Rodney King.
Rodney King is definitely a present one. Okay? Beat the black out of him. Being resistant. Defiant. Okay, Cartwright says he suggests that Negro should be kept in a submissive state and treated like children and with kindness. Huh? And gave a lot of attention and humanity. Y'all see that today? Give us certain privileges and stuff like that and calm. But, but you got to be a Christian. A good Christian person. Right?
Hallelujah.
Yeah, that's it. Right? You don't want to see that you starting to be rebellious. Let's move forward. Now, let's look at the second disease he found is Dysaphius athiopius. Okay, now this signs includes disobedience. You answering disrespectfully. You wonder why Mike Brown, all them brothers got shot? There we go. They were being disrespectful, being disobedient when they say, stop, Negro. Running and stuff, when the dude was running, stop. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. The cure was the cure for this particular disease was a hard labor of some sort. They sent vitalized energy to the brain. Well, if you look at our prison system, I think they're doing that today. If the family trying to send some vitalized energy to our brain. Okay, if that didn't work, we'll whip the devil out of them again. Disease is not your offspring of Negro liberty to liberty. This is how these cats was thinking, family. To be idle. This is our freedom we want. To wallow in filth and to indulge in improper food and drinks. What? We was vegetarians before we came over here. You with me? All right? Now, let's move forward. Also, like I was saying, in the 1990s, they were saying that the psychological screening for children entered into the juvenile system. So every one of our children that come in there, they evaluate them. Well, you're 11 to 12, sit down. Well, you old enough to make your own decisions, you know. You're a man now. Or a woman now. Huh? That's how they treat them in juvenile. Huh? And then they say, well, you know what? You may have this disorder, or that disorder, bipolar, and all these other different diseases. It seems like you can't get your decisions right and stuff like that. You're a kid. Maybe without any parents in your home, really. Okay? You're not eating a drug. You're not psychological or got athiopius disease or drapetomania. Well, you might have drapetomania disease because you're trying to be free in all this junk. Okay? Let's move forward. Now, we're going to look at the brief look, 13, 14 minute, and the birth of Republic of Texas. Like I said, family. Okay, now, let's look at this for a minute. I want y'all to see this. These are forts. See all these forts? Remember they talking about building a wall? We talking about originally now, this is in the late 18 to 1920. All this, the borderlands, look at the borderlands already protected. All until about 1940, one of them. All down Brownsfield, you feel me? So all they doing now is saying they're going to re-secure it sometime. Well, this thing been going on for a minute. This ain't nothing new. That's what I'm trying to get at. So they starting to invade now. They said by the year 1832, it was at least 20,000 illegal Americans. You know how you talking about illegal Spanish people? It was over 20,000 of them. And they called us and said, well, we're not Mexican. And we're not really in America no more. We're going to call ourselves Texans. That's how you end up with the name Texans. Okay? Let's move forward. Like I said, 1835 comes Sam Houston and Stephen Austin. Because Stephen Austin, he went down there to Mexico talking tough. Because, you know, he feel he had a few extra Americans that came in. And he said, yo, we got our own constitution. We taking over this land. And the Mexican government like, oh, for real? And they threw his butt in jail. Right? In prison for like 2 years. So when he got out, he was mad as hell. So what he did, that's when he was ready to fight now. Okay? We're saying he broke his agreement and everything, okay, with the Mexican government. Remember, he had to make an agreement to impress the old document. Okay? He done broke it. He upset now. He claimed that independence of the nation, it was independent all the way up to 1845. That's when Sam Houston, since he was already, you know, come from out of VA, he was like, you know what, we're going to annex this with the rest of the Union, you feel me? With the rest of the United States. So now he's getting annexed with the United States around this time. They saying still Fort Worth for a minute. They saying cats here had always been in slavery. I'm like, what? And so they saying here, the Colony Mill, Summer State, one of the founding fathers of the original Army outpost in 1849, 1853, owned a plantation of 640 acres northwest of the fort, worked by 150 slaves. Okay? So y'all really never had a whole lot of freedom in this particular region right here. Okay? Dallas did. That's in Dallas. We ain't going to talk about Dallas. We're dealing with Fort Worth today. 500, they say, declined, but by the number of slaves had nearly doubled to 150. Records not show any free blacks in the little community. Whew. They mean business around here in Fort Worth. Okay, but the 13 men, they finally said, you know what? Since we got these Negroes helping us fight this war, because we're going to need them, right? We finally going to put them in the Constitution. We up here pledging and thinking the Constitution is for us, right? No. We'll call slave, we're like chattel slave, we're this property. Okay? But they say, you know what, in the 13th Amendment, 14th Amendment, 15th Amendment, we're going to add these cats to our Constitution now. Okay? Start off with the 13th Amendment. The rest of the Constitution don't mean nothing to us. They showed that in the 1851, I think, with the Dred Scott decision. 1856, maybe 1856. Y'all look up the Dred Scott decision. Okay? Now, the 13th Amendment, they had a catch-22 in it, though. They said, hey, we tell you what, we'll let you free, but if you do any crime, you're going back to slavery condition, right? Which is prison system. And that's because right here, and if you think about it, in 1865, just 30 years, 34 years before that, we had Nat Turner, took him rebellious in the South. He had the uprising. White folks were scared to death. So here we come with Abraham Lincoln talking about, you free to go. So they were scared to death. So they had a catch-22, and then by 1866, like I said, they had 14th Amendment. It supposed to be exclusively for us. Huh? Let's look at what happened. Then this dude, some of them call him the black president, kissing his hind pie. But they didn't look at the fine print. What was his thing about? Making America safer again. So why they had to make America safer? What happened during that time? Well, it came out with the Criminal Bill Act. Huh? 3 strikes, brother, you're out for life. We just heard about convict leasing and all that a minute ago, you feel me? It's back on the rise. He got some new deals on the table. Okay? Now, bills in 1995, 1996, they built 52 prisons in 52 weeks. Every week they open a new prison. So it's a private prison. Everything, a lot of these prisons that you're looking at is not state-owned or anything no more. Your local jail is not really local jail no more. It's probably a private jail or a detention center. Okay? That means it's got private investors in it. Okay? And that's what's going on. It's private, big corporations that we were just talking about a minute ago, right? For big business. Now check this out. Then they started hiring more African Americans on the police force. Remember the patty rollers? Okay? It wasn't a whole lot of us on the police force until the 90s. Okay? But however, a lot of us wasn't on the streets. A lot of us was in the prisons, being overseers once again, or we'd be a sheriff or something like that, bring you a warrant, or we in the courtroom, being a sheriff, ready to take you to jail. Right? It's almost like back in the day with the master, he's standing there with him. Huh? And you be the one that got the whip to do. Remember that? They're like, you gonna do it. And you know that's your best friend. Huh? You still had to do it regardless. Huh? Same thing. So we gotta look at that. Let's move forward. A lot of people get out of me because I'm saying we need to be exclusive versus inclusive right now. Okay, because we need to get our own house together. I mean, I can't have people coming into my house and my house is like a total wreck. And I'm like, man, I don't even know where to start. But I'm going to have to start somewhere. So you got to start with yourself, right? To even get it truly in order. Put this right here. That way you know where everything at. You can't have other people come in there and say, I'm going to do it this way, do it that way. Guess what? You're still confused. Even though everything's looking nice. So guess what? A few months later, maybe a couple of days later, it's messed up again. You with me? Like I said, nowadays, half of us not even thinking about these, not even concerned about it. We out here rioting, though, protesting. But when we finish, when we sat down at the table and say, what plan you got there, buddy? I just think we should ask them for this and that and the third. No. What plan do we have as a whole? In my community, I was part of community events organizer. I was like, hey, I had a little plan together. But I was waiting for the rest of the community to come to the table. I said, hey, if somebody came right now and dropped $10 million on the table, what's the first thing we're going to do, y'all? Everybody at the table like, You feel me? But yeah, you want to get your community together. I bet I can get a bunch of conscious people in here, or awakening people, because I don't think we're fully conscious yet. We're still awakening. Okay? And I can get them in this room right now and say, somebody gave them $100 million right now to tell us to get this whole neighborhood together. What's the first thing we're going to do? What? But I'm saying, you got to have, in the business plan, you got to already have it structured out. How many of y'all already got it mapped out, structured out? Well, we can do at least this, that. Even if just the ideology of it, do we even have it written it down anywhere? We can talk all that. But do we have anything truly structured? I don't see plenty of people talk, but where's the structure? Where's the thing, the plan, step 1, step 2, step 3? Yeah. You feel me? If somebody came along right today and gave us the money to do it. Okay? We can be scrambling around trying to hurry up and do it. You know what I mean? And we know what happens when you do that. Notice what they do. They take 10, 20, 30 years before they activate the plan. It be going on right up under our noses. Call it gentrification projects and all these other. They got a plan. 20, 15 years later, like Los Colinas. If you know what they did, that was pure field. Yeah. When I first came here in 92, 91. Now look at big cities. There's about 10 different, all these bridges and carrying on with great God. They been had that in effect. Planning it out. First, they got to get rid of this person or that section of town and do that. Raise this tax up and that tax up. Clear them out. That's part of a planning process. Do we have one? Nope. Y'all with me? Let's move forward. And if y'all have any questions right quick about any of this before I leave out of here. Yeah, go ahead.
Could I ask what got you started on this journey? What was the catalyst?
On this particular one, subject matter?
What awakened you and made you conscious? Everything you're
having my son right there.
Okay.
You better wake up quick. You know what I'm saying? I was out there, acting foolish, being foolish, so to speak, in many different ways. Okay. And when you have a child, you got to think twice. Because the future is really with them. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So I had to start dedicating my energy and learning a lot of different things and change a lot of my ways. I'm still developing. It's like any of us. You know what I'm saying? Still, that's why I call it the awakening. I'm still waking up. You feel me? So anything I said, you know, as far as getting me, so it's been about 20-some years now for me.
Okay.
Definitely.
Can I piggyback on something that you said?
Yes,
So
sir.
important. The majority of my high school seniors and even college students, they can't add, subtract, multiply, divide without using Siri or a calculator. Because for 20 years, they've been dumbing down our children with technology. For 5 years, the British Empire hired me to teach their kids. They had some engineers over here. It was my job to keep them 2 or 3 years ahead of the American kids. I've got documents at home on video showing them adding and subtracting when carrying and borrowing at age 4. So I know what they can do. They were telling time to the nearest minute at age 4. They were counting back change at age 4. That's what they hired me for 5 years. So that was an experiment for me. I know what our babies can do if we start early. And something tells me you probably started with him very early.
Oh, yes, sir.
I bet he knows timetables. That makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
Starting early.
Yes, sir.
And I'm seeing an increasing illiteracy spreading across African America. And I think that's what the plantation wants. They've been dumbing down education in the inner city. They don't teach phonics anymore. They don't teach spelling rules anymore. Most of my high school kids cannot write in cursive.
What?
I work with kids all over the state, different parts of America, and we're seeing this all over the nation. That's no accident. According to what you just said, that's no accident.
Wow.
More and more radio programs, more and more books being written about the dumbing down of America. It's systematic. There is a central intelligence. And it all ties into what you're saying. It makes more sense now. Yes, sir. So I just thought I'd drop that on you because you look like the type who might follow up on that.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate that. Because
PBS did a special called Declining by Degrees. They've got a group of college graduates marching downhill. And they get into everything that I'm just saying in greater detail.
See, we need more brothers and sisters like you, you know what I'm saying? We can go into our communities, you know what I'm saying, in evenings and head groups and really showing them, like you said, how to really add again and,
Yes, sir.
and do what they got to do. Read or look in the dictionary again to really look up stuff. you know, pump their brain cells a little bit, you know, get them going. And like I said, we got it now, we can start them off 3, 4, 5 years old.
Yes.
Because we wait until they 9, 10, 11 for you, you know. It's going to be, you know, I ain't saying you can't do it, but it's like, you know, pulling teeth. It's going to be tough.
PTV Productions.